Hi garden friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Era and this is Gardening on Purpose. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're a subscriber, welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I garden in Georgia, Zone 8A, where I do gardening related videos. I'm at Lowe's. It's the first week in March and I'm checking out their newest plant inventory. Alright guys, as you can see, my Lowe's is bringing in the inventory. The shelves are beginning to fill up. There's a lot of shrubs, perennials, and annuals for us to see, so let's check them out. First up, we have this beautiful sedum. This beauty here is, I don't know how you pronounce that, Fuldegot sedum. This beauty here is non-hardy in zones 1 to 3. It is cold hardy to -30 and it's $7.98. It's a ground cover. Really nice. I love sedums. You guys know I have Autumn Joy, Autumn Fire, and a couple other low-level or low-growing sedums. Love them. Right next to that, we have this beauty here, which is from Proven Winners. This one says it's the Mizzou Trailing Red Aptenia cordifolia. I never heard of this guy here. Looks like it's a ground cover too. That's going to be a whole $6.98. They've got Irish Moss. This beauty here is going to be $4.98. This is the Monrovia brand. Now, I have no business buying Irish Moss because it grows naturally in my yard in the back where it stays wet. So I don't really buy it and I don't really use it in my containers or anything, but I know a lot of folks that do. $4.98. And this guy's going to be in a 1 pint, it looks like. Next up, we have this beauty here, which is a fern. This is an asparagus fern. Asparagus fern is going to be $3.88, guys. This is the Lowe's brand. And asparagus ferns, I don't use them that much, but I do use them in containers. $3.98. Right next to that, we have another type of fern. This is autumn fern, which I have in my yard and does absolutely amazing. It is an evergreen for us. It has this really nice coppery foliage when it gets in the cooler weather. They've got a whole bunch of Boston ferns, guys. Boston ferns are going to be $16.98, and they're in a hanging basket as well. And then they have hydrangeas, guys. Of course, they're always going to have hydrangeas. These beauties here are the Red Romance hydrangea. This guy here is a 3 to 6 hours of morning sun. In Georgia, I would put this in shade. We get too hot and they burn up too much, and especially with the humidity too. This beauty here blooms in the spring and the summer. And how much is this? This is going to cost us $29.98. Next to that, we have this beauty here. What is this? This was an indoor hydrangea that they brought outside. This one just says indoor hydrangea, $12.98. And sometimes you can tell when it's supposed to be indoor because they usually have those type of pots, but they are pretty nonetheless. They've got Blue Select Fescue. This is $10.98, guys. This is going to be a part sun grass for an ornamental grass. And this beauty here is non-hardy in 1 to 3, so hardy from 4 and above. So I love those. And then what else do they have here? They have this guy here that's more spiky. This one is Blue Arrows Rush. Blue Arrows Rush is also going to be a part-time, $10.98, guys. Right next to that one here, we have this beauty here, which is more of a dual color or chartreuse. It says it's Platinum Beauty, guys. Platinum Beauty. This one comes out from the Southern Living Plant Collection. Love that. This would be great as a thriller in a container. They have the larger containers as well. So that one you saw was $10.98. This one is going to be in a 2-gallon for $21.98. Really nice. Right next to that is one of my favorite caricases. This one is from the Southern Living Plant Collection. Has this really nice greeny yellow that stays evergreen all year for me. This is from the Evercolor series, and this one is Everrillo. This one is Everrillo, guys. Love it. Have it in my yard. I also have the Everest, which is great too. But most times I see the Everest, which is why I have more Everest than Everrillo. But they are beautiful nonetheless. They've got Liriope. You guys know I'm a big fan of Liriope, but I like the chartreuse one. I like the ones that have more than one color. This one here is the big blue Liriope. $4.98, guys, for 1 quart. And this is what they're looking like. And some of them bloom, well, the ones that I have bloom this really nice grape-like purple. Saxifraga is back, guys. This one is going to be $6.48. It says it's the Tehran pink Saxifraga. You usually see these in the cooler weather. $6.48 from Monrovia. And they have this really nice pink. I love me a candy tuft, guys, and you saw my video the other day when I told you I bought a couple of them because they had them 2 for $10. These ones here are from Monrovia, and they'll be great if you kind of plant them a lot, like plant them all over in one spot. It'd be nice to plant them in multiples. This beauty here is Snow Surfer. Snow Surfer Candy Tuft is going to be $13.48. It's a perennial, and it is in a 2 quart, guys. This beauty here is hardy down to -30. Right next to that is this beauty here that at first, when I first got it, it used to give me trouble, but now it really has found its footing in my yard. This is the beautiful Ascot Rainbow Euphorbia. I put it in the ground, and it just doesn't seem to like in the ground no matter how much I amend my soil, but in the container, it is thriving. This Ascot Rainbow is a full sun perennial, and it is hardy down to 0 degrees too. And that's another thing too, even though it's 0 degrees, only down to 0 degrees hardy, and it's in my container, and we're getting these really, really bad cold spells this year and late last year. The Ascot Rainbow is actually thriving, and it looks really, really nice in the fall in the cooler weather. The foliage turns this really nice bronzy look. Here's something that they have, a limited time deal, 2 for $10 for the 2 quart perennials, all varieties. This is of the Lowe's brand though. This one here is the Fort Hill Creeping Phlox. Fort Hill Creeping Phlox are usually $7.98. You can get 2 for $10. These beauties here are really nice pink, cold hardy to -50, guys, and it grows 4 to 6 inches high. And they have another color here. So here they have the pink, and then here they have more of a fuchsia-y kind of pink. And let's see what they're calling this one here. This one is the Red Wing Creeping Phlox, guys. Here it is, Red Wing Creeping Phlox, trailing perennial. Really, really nice. I really don't have, I have phlox. I love phlox, but I have the garden phlox. I don't have the creeping or the trailing ones, but I love them anyway. And they might have another one here. Let's see. They have a purpley look one here. Let's see. This one here is going to be Emerald Blue Creeping Phlox, guys. What a beauty. So they have that really nice. This one looks more lavender. That one looks more fuchsia. And that one is a little bit more pink over that I showed you first. Next to that one, we have this beauty here, which I love, and I have it in my yard. This beauty here is the pincushion flower, also known as butterfly. Well, this is butterfly blue pincushion flower, right? This beauty here is really, really nice. Really, really nice, guys. $7.98. Love it because it's purple. Love it because it actually stays semi-evergreen for me here in Georgia. And sometimes it does look rough if you don't clean up the spent blooms. But if you do that, you will get beautiful blooms like this, guys. More creeping phlox here, guys. This one here is it says Ronsdorfer creeping phlox, beauty creeping. I never heard about this particular variety here. Let me know if you have. Now, let me just double check to make sure this is a phlox. And it's not actually saying the word phlox on there. I just assumed it was. Oh, yes. It says creeping phlox right there. All right, guys. So that's the last of the phlox that they have here. And then they have the Lowe's variety of the candy tuft. This one here is the Snow Station. Snow Station as in sensation, but sensation. This beauty here is $5.48, but it's in a 1 quart, and it is a beauty. They have this beauty here. This one here is the Morning Star Deep Rose Sea Thrift. $5.48, guys. Yes, they are definitely going up. This is a mountain perennial, requires full sun, and is hardy to -50. Really, really nice. Here they have Crescendo Yellow Primrose, $5.48. Really, really nice. I actually like Primrose because they have all these beautiful colors. Now on the other end, they do have the other pinky and reddy and all these colors, but this one is just the yellow. On to the shrubs, guys, and they have a whole lot of them. Some of them, it's the same shrubs over and over, but they did insert some new varieties of some favorites. So let's see what they have. They've got Radiance Abelia. Love this shrub. But I spoke to my Lowe's associate, and he told me that these are going to get a little bit beat up in our humidity and in our heat in Georgia. But I really do like it, and you know why? Because it has the dual color. This one is going to be $24.98, guys. It's part of this, looks like it's a part of the Suntastic series of the Abelia in Southern Living Plant Collection. This beauty here is hardy from zone 6 to 10, a moderate grower, and requires well-drained soil. So let me know if you have Radiance Abelia. And then right next to Radiance Abelia is one of my favorites is Kaleidoscope, because Kaleidoscope has these beautiful colors. They change with the weather. Really, really nice. Now these here, I've noticed that Abelias are not that expensive compared to some other shrubs. The pollinators love them. They look nice. They're an evergreen for me here in Georgia. This one is $24.98, guys. Grows 2 to 3 feet tall, hardy from zone 6 to 9. All right, guys, so now we're at the rose table, and they have a bunch of knockout roses. The first one here is the Orange Glow Knockout. Orange Glow Knockout is a really nice peachy orangey color. Really, really nice. Hardy from zones 4 to 11, and like most roses, require full sun. They've got an Easy Breezy. This one is more of a faint yellow, right? And here's the tag here, Easy Breezy. Really, really nice. And then they have a pink one over here, and they have some reds over here as well. So pretty much all the knockout roses are going to be somewhere between 5 and 11. It's just that they have different colors, yellow, orange, pink, and red. As usual, they have a lot of azaleas, guys. These are the Encore azaleas, the ones that bloom 3 times a year, spring, summer, and fall. They are evergreen for us, and they love the clay soil. They are different colors. We have orange and pinks and whites and white and pink and orange and white. So first up, we have this beauty here. This is the autumn carnation. I have this in my yard, does well. This is what the flowers look like, right? That's autumn carnation. Then they have autumn empress. I don't have this one in my yard, but this is what this one looks like. Now these are going to be $16.98, and they have different ones. They have ones that are dwarf, ones that are intermediate, and ones that are huge. So this particular one is intermediate, and intermediate usually just means the size, like 4 feet by 3 feet, whereas a dwarf might just be 2 feet. Next up, they have this variety here, which is autumn sangria. Really, really like that one. $24.98 for a 2-gallon, $16.98 for a 1-gallon. They have a lot of the sangria, guys. They have this beauty here, which is the autumn embers, which I have in my yard. Again, $24.98 for a 2-gallon. Have embers, really, really nice. What else do they have? Let's see. Lot of autumn embers, guys. Lot of autumn embers. Now, it looks like they're going to have a 3-gallon of something here. One of my favorites in the entire series is the autumn twist, because the autumn twist has a twist look to it. Some flowers are going to be a full pink. Some are going to be pink and white. Some are going to be pure white. It's a beautiful thing to see when this plant is blooming. The 3-gallon is going to cost you $32.98, guys. Really, really nice. And this one is an intermediate too. 4.5 feet by 4 feet wide. And you see what I was saying? It loves acidic soil. Well, it says slightly acidic, but they do well in nice clay, guys. This one is hardy from zone 6A to 10. Here's another one that I have. This one is the Autumn Royalty. Autumn Royalty, again, the 3-gallon for $32.98. And Royalty has more of a pinky purple, hence the name. And this one here is also an intermediate. I've noticed a lot of them that I have ended up being intermediate. I didn't, choose that. It just happened to be that way. And let's just see what else they have here. a bunch of other royalties. So they have the 2-gallon and the 1-gallon royalty. Then they have Starburst, which I also have in my yard. Starburst is the one that was more of a orangey or a pinky white. Now here's a bloom that's trying to open. And it sure does look like that, guys. Now the Autumn Starburst is a dwarf. And this guy is 3 feet by 3.5 feet wide. Like I said, all of them, they can take more sun than your typical azalea. They bloom spring, summer, and fall. Sometimes it takes a while for them to really catch their bearings and get a whole system going of blooming, but they are very reliable for me, especially here in my clay soil. They are not very finicky. Next up, they have a bunch of star jasmines. This one is $21.98. It's a climber, and I believe this is out of my hardiness zone. Yes, zone 9, and this goes pretty high on a trellis. This will be an annual for me, but let me know if you have star jasmine in your yard and how it does. It requires full sun. Indian hawthorn is another one here, $21.98, guys. Full sun plant that only blooms in the spring. Now, I have one single Indian hawthorn in my yard that gives me a little bit of grief, but I'm holding out hope on it, guys. I've moved it into a container now because I feel like it's just not adding anything to the garden, so I'll probably give it away after a while. But they bloom these really, really nice whitey, faint pink Indian hawthorn right here. These guys are going to be $21.98, and they are hardy from zone 8. I had this guy in my yard, and it didn't do well. I got it on clearance, but it wasn't like a bad clearance. It was an actual nice plant. But again, another example of me and arborvitae for some reason. This beautiful guy here is the Highlights arborvitae. It grows 8 to 20 feet tall, guys. Love it. $24.98. But I'm just pretty much done buying the arborvitae. I feel like I'm spending too much money, and I just don't seem to like my yard. More of Gardenia. This one is Jubilation, which I have. Jubilation is $26.98, guys. Grows 3 to 4 feet by 3 to 4 feet. I'm back over here by the Kaleidoscope abelia and the Radiance abelia. Here they have the Dragon Prince Cryptomere, which I love. Does really, really well in my yard. It doesn't grow that tall, only 2 to 3 feet tall, guys, and I have it in my yard. I plan to do a tour in the next couple of days, so you'll definitely see that. And somebody came and got a couple of them because they only have 4, and I know they didn't just bring in 4. Then they have this beauty here, which is Sunshine Ligustrum, which I speak about all the time because it's one of my favorite evergreen, yellowy, greeny shrubs that does absolutely amazing in my yard, guys. Now, for the smaller containers, this is from the Southern Living Plant Collection. It's $12.98. Next up, we have this guy here, which is the Lemon Lime Nandina. Now, I love Nandina, and I do have the Obsession, which does well. But this one here is always like it's on death's door for me. Don't know why. Part shade, 3 to 4 feet tall by 3 to 4 feet wide. Hardy from zone 6 to 10. It's in my zone. I have it in part shade, but for whatever reason, guys, it just doesn't do well for me. Let me know how it does in your yard. More of the Jubilation Gardenia. You can tell that these just came out because they have the little haircuts and everything, so they're really nice and looking great for you here, guys, at Lowe's. We've got Blush Pink Nandina. Blush Pink Nandina is in a 2.25 gallon, and it is a part shade plant. $24.98, guys. Hardy from zone 6 to 10. Now, here's the Obsession that I keep talking about, which I love. And, guys, it sure does look like that. Really, really nice. This guy here is $24.98. Hardy from zone 6 to 10. You'll definitely see it in my tour coming up. Here we have Paul's Gold Chamaecyparis. Paul Gold Chamaecyparis, guys, 5 feet tall, a beauty. Now, this one actually does well in my yard, right? Hardy from zones 5 to 8. They have a larger version of the Sunshine Ligustrum. This one is going to be $24.98. And they have this guy here. Now, you've seen it in a couple of videos where I moved it last year, and it's one of my favorite ones, and it was doing well where it was, but I had to move around some stuff. This is the Nightlight Cameocypris, guys, and it died, and I still haven't dug it up because I just can't believe that my Nightlight Cameocypris died. I held out hope. I was watering, but I think I just wasn't watering enough. I don't know. But anyway, $24.98 for the Nightlight, 4 to 5 feet tall, hardy from zones 5 to 8. Oh, they have a new arborvitae here. Never seen this one. Green Valley. Green Valley arborvitae, guys. 15 to 20 feet tall, hardy from zones 5 to 9. It has more of a coppery look. I'm not sure if that's how it's supposed to look, but you see how it's green here, and then on top it looks like all copper bronze. Not sure what that's about, but it looks nice anyway. Next up, they have gardenias. I'm standing right here and it smells amazing. This one here is the Vecchi Gardenia. Ooh, blooms in the spring and the summer, $22.98. Look at that foliage. But again, this is just from the greenhouse and just off the trucks, right? But you can see, look at all these beautiful flowers, guys. Well, you guys know my story with gardenia, how, you have to work hard for gardenia in my yard. But look at how pretty that is, and it smells amazing. Right next to that, we have a shade plant. This was the Mountain Snow Pieris, guys. Mountain Snow Pieris is $26.98 for a 2-gallon, hardy from zones 4 to 8, and it blooms early. So you see, it already has its blooms on there. I bought some years ago and they all died. And I think it's also because these really need shade. Like, not, it needs to have serious shade or else it's going to get beat up during the hot months. Mountain Snow Pieris, $26 from the Southern Living Plant Collection. Right next to that, guys, we have this guy here, which blooms in the spring for me. Beautiful. This is the Chinese Snowball Viburnum. They said this is a sterile Chinese Snowball Viburnum. 6 hours of sun, only blooms in the spring. That's the only downside I see to this plant. The blooms are huge, and they do have, for me, the one I have in my yard, it does have residual blooms in the fall. This year it didn't, and I don't know what's the reason for that, but normally it does. And I bought mine somewhere else in the 2-gallon, and at first it started really slow, but now it's catching its bearing, and now it's pretty much like 10 times the size I bought it. Now these can get huge. I have to keep it manageable because it will get huge in my yard and become like a whole big tree, and I don't want that. But this Chinese Snowball Viburnum, these huge snowball-like blooms, guys. Really, really nice, hardy from zones 3, and you can see it grows 15 to 20 feet tall. Right next to that, we have Reeves Spirea. Now, I mentioned that I didn't have any Spirea in my yard, and then somebody in the comments said that they have Reeves, and it does well. So, I'll think about, what I'm going to do about that. But this is only $19.98, guys. 6 hours of sun, so it's a full sun plant, grows 6 by 6, and it is hardy to zone 6. Really, really nice. Now you can see it's getting all budded up, guys. All budded up. Next to that, as usual, they're just showing a lot of gardenias. They always seem to have a lot of gardenias here. This one here is the August Beauty, a 3 to 6 hour morning sun plant that blooms spring, summer, and fall for $21.98. Next up, they have the Sky Pencil Japanese Holly. Nice plant if you want a main plant in your container. If you want something that for a narrow space, you can get this guy for $24.98. And this is going to be in the 2.25 gallon compared to the one in the 2 quart. Yeah, 2.5 quart for $10.98. Now, I had these when I first bought the house. I bought them, but I didn't give them enough sun, and the scale just ripped it apart. I never really bought it again, but I know that they have the capacity to do well in my garden. Next up, we have a Parcini juniper. This is a ground cover juniper. Parcini junipers. These guys here are going to be $10.98. I'm already seeing a couple cents more than last year because I'm pretty sure this was $9.98 last year, guys. But junipers do well for me. They do well in the heat. Unlike the arborvitaes that are water hogs and suck a lot of water, and if you don't water it for more than 2 days, then the thing starts to dry out and die. Not junipers. Junipers don't like to stay wet. They love the humidity. They love the heat. I have blue point juniper. I have blue star juniper. We have a Japanese garden juniper. This one again, 1098. Again, full sun. A lot of those, guys. And then we have this guy here. I think this is a Pacifica one. Yes, Blue Pacific Shore Juniper, $10.98, guys. These are all going to be hardy pretty much from Zone 5. Next up, we have a poisonous plant. This guy here is the Carolina jessamine, guys. The Carolina jessamine, it is a beautiful plant, and I see it every year. I never buy it because I don't have the space for it, and but I really, really like this yellow flowers. Really, really nice. Let me know if you have this beauty in your yard and how it does. All right, looks like somebody came up here and bought up all the golden mop fall cypress. The other day I was here, and this whole section here had golden mop fall cypress. So somebody's working on some sort of project, guys. They do have two random ones here, one in a 2-gallon and one in a 2-quart. The 2-gallon is $21.98, and the 2-quart is going to be, I'm pretty sure it's 10 or $9.98. It's the Lowe's brand, not the fancy name brand, guys. But I love this plant. I got some too. And these guys are evergreen. I love that yellow. Even in the wintertime, it will be a beautiful sight to see. Even more gardenias, guys. This particular one here is the frost-proof gardenia. Now, I have this in my yard, and it's just sitting there. It is really not doing anything. It's not dead. It's not browning. It's not yellowing. It's not moving. And I am just, oh, okay. Frost-proof gardenia blooms spring and summer. $21.98 for a 2.25 gallon, guys. This is part sun. And that's what it looks like. Right next to that one is Chinese fringe flower, also known as loropetalum. This beauty here is $21.98, guys. Blooms spring, summer, and fall. Really, really nice. Now, they are part of the witch hazel family, which is why they have these types of flowers. And they have dwarfs. They have ones that grow really, really big. I know people who have these as a hedge. Really, really nice, guys. So they have this one here. That's all it's saying is the ruby fringe flower, right? And then let's see what else they have here. Are they all going to say ruby fringe flower and not like purple daydream? Okay, yeah, they're all pretty much saying ruby fringe flower. They've got a Pringles Dwarf YEW, $21.98 for a 2.25 gallon. This is hardy from zones 8 and grows 3 to 5 feet tall. Here are some azaleas that bloom only in the spring, guys. So here it just says azalea. Only blooms in the spring, $22.98. And as you can see, they're saying part sun. They don't like to get beat up too much in the Georgia sun, right? What else do they have here? More of this beauty here now. They are pretty. They really are pretty. And they do well in the south. And they have this picture here. I don't know if it really looks like that, but let me know if it does. And then right next to that, what do we have here? Oh, this is also azalea too. Okay, they're all just saying azalea, guys. No particular brand to speak of here. Let's see what they have. It looks like they have a lot of shrubs, guys. I think they've filled in everything where they're going to put shrubs. And from now on, we're probably going to see a lot more perennials and annuals. Here we have the arborvitae section. This is a North Pole for $29.98. This is the Proven Winners brand. And then right next to that, they have the emerald green arborvitae for $60 pretty much. Right, they are looking great though. I'm not going to lie about it, but again, they just came in. So if you buy, especially my experience with arborvitae is that if you don't keep that thing watered, I mean, it doesn't need to be sitting in water, but if you don't keep it moist, it will not take too kindly to being planted. This is the green giant arborvitae again, $24.98. And then they have a smaller version here of the emerald green, $29.98. As usual, they have a lot of the Leyland cypress. This beauty here is 6 hours of sun, a full sun plant, great for screening and hardy to zone 6. And then next to that, they have this guy here, which I'm always tempted to buy, but I never do because I know it's going to get big and I know it's probably not going to make it in my yard, guys. Something is just telling me that. Carolina sapphire cypress. What a beauty. And it smells amazing when you brush across it. As also a plant for screening, $24.98. They have a huge green giant arborvitae for $64 as well. Hardy to zone 5, grows up to 30 feet. So if you're looking for stuff to screen and your hands are really good when it comes to arborvitaes, then these would probably be a good choice for you. A lot more of the screening shrubs here. Same of the same ones, to be honest with you guys, except for this guy here. I don't know what kind of screening this can do, but let's see. Wilma Goldcrest Monterey Cypress. Let me know if you have this guy. It's pretty tiny here. And it says it's a full sun plant, screening, hardy to zone 7, grows 6 to 8 feet tall, guys. Let me know if you have the Wilma Goldcrest Monterey Cypress. Really, really nice. Looks like something that belongs in a container if you ask me, but let me know if you have that guy. And then, of course, we have a bunch of boxwoods, which I love. Wintergreen boxwoods. You know, I have this in my yard. Does really, really well. Got mine on clearance. And these were $21.98 for a 2.25 gallon, hardy to zone 4. And then they have Japanese boxwood. Now, the wintergreen is actually Korean. This is a Japanese one here, and look how beautiful these things are, guys. Straight out the nursery, straight out the truck, guys. $21.98 for the Japanese boxwood. If you love boxwoods, which I do, and I've experienced with Japanese boxwoods as well, but I've just noticed personally that the Korean boxwood grows faster, and it doesn't turn that little browning color that they turn in the winter, and it doesn't seem to be affected as much by the pests. Next up, we have Soft Cut Touch Compact Holly, $10.98 for a 2.5 quart. And then more wintergreens here. Wintergreen, $10.98. Now, these, I believe, are from last year. This is why they're looking kind of rough. They might end up actually in the clearance rack. And then right after that, we have Compact Japanese Holly. This one is $10.98. Let me put that back. And then more of the Soft Touch Compact Holly. This is in a bigger container, which is going to cost us $22.98. We have an annual section here with geraniums. These are going to be $16.98 for these geraniums. Now these, I just don't like how they look a little bit messy when they're done blooming or when they need to cut them back. But I know a lot of folks who love them some geraniums, guys. These are going to be an annual that blooms spring, summer, and fall. So they have this really nice, deep fuchsia pink color. Right next to that, they have what looks like petunias. Let's see. Yes, these are petunias. Right here, 6 hours of sun, a full sun plant. These are annuals, and they do well, and then they die, right? So they have a couple of them in here too. It's not just one plant. So this one has 4 plants in there, and the geranium looks like it has 3 plants in there. Let's see what else they have on the annual scale. Now they have this guy here, which this one here is the Sonetti Percalis that you saw earlier on in the video. These usually come earlier on in the season, and then they kind of fizzle out, and then they end up on the clearance rack. Then they have this guy here, which is from Proven Winners. This one is the Super Bells Lemon Sliced Calabricoa. These are going to be a whole $7, guys, for an annual. Then they have primrose. Remember I was mentioning how they have different types of colors of primrose? Here's this nice deep pink, guys. It's called primula, but primrose only blooms in the spring. $15.98. Looks like they have 1, 2, 3. They have 5 plants in there. One of my favorite annuals in the cooler season and the fall. This guy here is the marigolds. Love them. These guys here are the French marigold, and they're a dwarf. 6 hours of sun, guys, and I just love the colors. Now these guys here, you could easily plant them by seed. I don't have the patience to be planting by seeds. For flowers, I do plant by seed for my edible garden, but for flowers, I buy the plants, but they look really, really nice. And they have several plants in here. More petunias here, and this is red. And then they have the white petunias here, and then they have the full-on yellow marigold, and these again are going to be a $13.98. Oh look, they have this guy here. Let me go look at him. You know, sometimes it's catch and go with this guy here being at the store. They do well for me. This guy here is the purple queen. They're calling. I thought it was called purple heart. Now it's purple queen. Here it is right here, guys. This does well, and I know somebody in my family has these as a ground cover, and they come back for them every year. Really, really nice. Sadly, it's a whole $5.88. Ooh, really, really nice. I thought they're called purple heart. I'm gonna look it up and put a note on the screen if I figure out, or maybe this is a different one. Maybe the purple heart is a completely different one, but it's the same, variety. I don't know. Let me know if you have this beauty in your yard and how it does. Alright guys, so I did a video last month when these first came in, and when they first came in it was pretty much just sticks, but now they have come to life with all this new foliage, all this new color, all this new flowers. So here we have the bonfire patio peach. Mine is flowering too. And what a beauty this is, guys. And the pollinators, I actually began to see a bunch of bees yesterday on this guy. They've got Japanese magnolias here, Japanese maples, weeping willow, all kinds of fruit trees like apples and pear and cherry, blueberries, blackberries. They also have forsythia. Forsythia is a pretty early blooming shrub that I have in my yard. Came when I bought the house, and it only blooms in the spring. It blooms pretty early, guys, but everything is coming to life. Check out my video so you can go into detail about every single variety of what they have here at Lowe's. You might have seen a separate video of bare root roses. When they first came in, I came here and I went into detail about every single variety that they have, and they still have a lot more if you're looking for bare root roses. I usually buy bare root roses rather than buying the full plant because it's just a little bit more cheaper, and they do well for me. They have all the varieties. You know, they have the hybrid tea, they have grandiflora, and they have floribunda. So check out that video and see if they have something that you like. Alright guys, that is pretty much it for me here in early March. Lots to see and still a lot more to come. Let me know how your Lowe's is doing, what you've bought so far, how your weather is doing. Are you outside? Are you buying? Are you planting? Please like, please share, and please subscribe. Remember to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted on all my new videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.